Hi everyone, how are you today? I'm Liliana Amaro, Children's Sleep Coach, and welcome to one more session of Learning to Sleep. Today I want to talk about my 5 tips to getting your baby sleeping easier and through the night. Of course, we need to keep in mind the age of our child and how is their capability to sleep through the night. If we are speaking about a baby that is on the age of 6 months, it's very difficult that they sleep through the night unless they do it by themselves naturally. They will be very hard that they fall asleep many hours because they still need to be fed, and then they also going to be waking up for different reasons. Obviously, change but feeding is the most common. I'm going to start and naming one by one, and let me tell you here that the success of these baby sleep tips to sleep easier, to sleep them easier, rely on the fact that you need to cover the 5 of them. It's like a list, and then if you have trouble with one of them and you're not taking on one of them, you need to keep in mind that then the success of this good sleeping is not going to happen because you are lacking in some areas. So you need to start focusing and start working on that. Let's say bedtime. We always recommend to choose an early bedtime, but if you are not very careful about this time, then the good sleep and the sleep patterns are not going to be as well as you expect to. Okay, so please choose a early bedtime. And what is recommended, because we don't know what is early. For babies under 1 year, from 6:30 to 7:30, perfect. For children older, we recommend that you put them to sleep no later than 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock like maximum. Why? Because then we start dealing with overtiredness, with hyperactivity, which we meant to call. Usually mothers that have a baby that is not sleeping at their proper time, they say that it's very energetic. So this is the first thing I always say, no matter what the age, my baby has a lot of energy and doesn't really want to fall asleep. It's no energy, it's overtiredness, mommies. So, and yes, the manifestation is like they want to do a lot of things at the time. Okay, the placing where they sleep, we always recommend that is always in the same place, same position, same manners, is in order to replicate the environment every time. Why? Because they get used to this form. They used to get used to this environment and the place, and they feel more confident to be in bed. They find it like a safe place. They know it's a place in where they will rest. It's like I always put this example. It's like you as an adult like always to go to your bed, and you're so used to your bed, and when you are not in your bed, you are going to someone else's house, it just takes a while to get used to the environment. Of course, because we are adults, we can understand this easier, but a baby takes a while to get used to this, and sometimes they get very scared. No scared as in fear, but they just don't recognize the space and make them feel very uncomfortable. The routines are the most important thing here for sleeping well and sleeping early and sleep longer. If you don't have a routine, believe me, this is most of the efforts that you do are going to get out of the window, because the routine is the key for success in sleep. Why? Because a baby doesn't have way to communicate, has very start to understand what is going on around in life, and when you repeat the same action at the same time in the same manner, the baby feels secure. Therefore, he starts reacting in a very pleasant way. What happens when you don't have a routine and you sometimes take them for a walk in the pram, sometimes you take them in the car, sometimes you rock them in your arms, sometimes you're breastfeeding, Sometimes you put them in the couch, sometimes in your bed, sometimes in the cot, sometimes in the bassinet. So how many forms did I name? Around 10. So the baby doesn't know, that doesn't feel confident enough to sleep or in one area. So they go around in different ones, and then this is what's happening. The baby gets confused. Also, in doing this means you don't have a specific time to put them to sleep in the same place. So it's a little bit, you're not following a routine. So it's highly recommended to have a routine. The number 4 is always put your baby awake in the cot before sleeping. There is a lot of information out there, and this is my expert advice in sleep. Put your baby awake. Some books, some information will say that if you put your baby a little bit drowsy to sleep, it will help them to sleep better, or sometimes it's the way we choose to put them into their bed. Why? Because we believe that they're almost asleep and they won't notice that we put them, but then there becomes the game of playing the ninja escape. I put it there almost asleep, and then I go out quietly of the room. But you need to think about it. When you put a baby to wake into the cot, they recognize the environment. Once again, they feel confident, they feel secure, they recognize the space. If they're tired, it's more likely that they feel, okay, good, I'm in my bed, I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to sleep. But if the baby is a little bit drowsy, he's in your arms, or she is in your arms, and you grab this baby or the baby and put them in the bassinet. And then the baby, the moment that you drop, he feels a change of temperature, change of surface, change of smell, perhaps. The baby is going to wake up, and he's going to say, "What? Where I am? I'm scared. I don't know where I am. I want to go back to the safe place I was before. I don't know how I got here." This is what happens. That's why it's very, very, very important that the baby is put awake into the cot. Impossible, you will say. This is impossible for you. For me, Liliana, is very easy to say because I'm not dealing with this baby that does not like the cot. Well, mommies, I have heaps of videos that are talking about the cot in my YouTube channel. You can go and visit each of them. Why my baby hates the cot, why my baby doesn't like the cot. There is a lot of explanation for that. I'm not going to go into it because that's a full topic and we can develop, but this is the advice. This is mostly the one that moms fail to tick on, and this is why sometimes the 5 tips are not working enough. I'm going to tell you by my experience. I followed these tips and they were working well. They start working. That's why I thought I fell in love with this program. I thought these 5 things are working. I just need to make a few things perfect. I didn't know how to remove myself from the room before my child slept, and a few other things I cannot recall right now. But once this start working, you start seeing the light end of the tunnel of this sleep, and then of course you can. What I decided to do is contact the expert, and then I became an expert to do this because I wanted to master it. I wanted to be the best at sleeping my children. And why I wanted to do this? Because I wanted to sleep better and I wanted to feel better and be happy. Okay, and the tip number 5 is the waiting time, and I call this waiting time giving the opportunity to the baby of falling asleep on their own. Why? Because most of the new mothers, and I won't say all of them, but most, don't feel confident on leaving their baby on their own, especially when they start, they put them in the bed and then they start screaming a little bit. The first thing that mothers do is grab the baby, but without realizing, some little ones make noise in order to fall asleep. They make the noise in order to fall asleep, and then they make wah, wah, and then they start falling asleep on that. But we need to start recognizing, we need to give them the opportunity to fall asleep in this, in the space that we have created for them. We need to be a little bit patient with that because it takes time for them to recognize, to feel confident and fall asleep. Same thing happens when they start falling asleep for a little bit longer, and then you hear a noise, give them the chance to express themselves. Let them scream a little bit, let them make noise, because it's natural for a child to make a noise, and then give them a little bit of time, and then go and check. Okay, my baby is fine, he's fully awake, he fell asleep again, what can I do? You need to decide this. Of course, the time, the advisable time is 10 minutes. 10 minutes seems like a lifetime for some mothers, and is very understandable, but if you can start with 2-3 minutes, and you will see how this time, it gives the opportunity to your child to express themselves, fall asleep, which is what we want, and achieve better results. Okay, if you have any questions about these 5 golden tips, I call them, to sleep your baby easier, please contact me. I'm happy to get a comment down here. You can email me, you can text me. Your medium of contacting me easier. The one that you want is welcome to me. We try to be across all the social media channels and get back to you as soon as possible. Life is busy, not for you, not just for you, sorry, for me as well, but we always trying to get back to you as soon as possible with the best answers, the best help we can give you. Okay, thank you so much for your time, and welcome again to Learning to Sleep. See you. Bye.